Hey, if you're like me, you love to trade candlestick patterns, but you know the candlestick patterns sometimes just don't work, especially in market conditions like we're having right now. I'll explain what I'm talking about in today's video, how to make money trading stocks. This is the week of December 17th. This is our last session for the year because I'm going to go see my grandkids. Anyway, this is Dennis Wilmer, the active trend trader. And it has been a crazy week in the market. It keeps getting uglier and uglier and uglier. And we'll see how far we're going to slip. We have various market conditions. Anyway, we'll cover 3 stocks. The last one's going to shock you. And then we'll also cover each one of the indexes, the 3 indexes that I track, to let you know why this market looks like it could be getting worse rather than getting better. Not badder, better. Let's get after it right now. And the markets are kind of like, making me ask the question, is the Santa Claus rally dead? Has basically inflation and all that kind of stuff killed Santa this year, in other words. And so we're going to jump into that right now. So here we go. Just a reminder that all the materials we do present are for trading purposes. Traders should always paper trade prior to the risk of their own personal capital. One of the things that I want to take a look at, and guys, we're going to do this a little bit different today. I'm going to jump right into the market analysis and also into the stocks now that we're going to be taking a look at. We'll do a stock, a matter of fact, as soon as I show where we're at, okay, the market is pulling back a little bit today. Again, we had a follow-through day, so IBD designated the market as being, designated the market as being in uptrend, no longer in correction. And then immediately, you hate to see that happen, but immediately the next day, it was like they just opened the floodgates, and people were running for the exits of jumping back out. And so it's a really challenging market to potentially trade. And so here's where we're sitting as of right now. About 9 o'clock this morning, this is where I'm sitting. As you can see, the index is being a little bit sloppy, dropping off some of where they were from the past week. I'm, given the kind of market it's been this year, I'm happy with 30%. It's not my target amount for the year, but I'm anticipating, we'll see what happens in the last 2 weeks of the year. And in case you're keeping notes, there are 9 more trading days for 2021. Remember, next Friday the market is closed, and then New Year's Eve is open. But so there's 9 more days left. Today's How to Make Money Trading Stocks is the last session we will do for 2021 because I'm off to see my grandkids in Boise, Idaho next week. And since the market's closed next Friday, I'm not going to do a session, nor for the first of the year. Now, I will post some recordings that I'll be taking some snapshots of the market for you to pay it, for you to at least pay attention to. And I encourage you, please dialogue with us if you're watching us on YouTube, please dialogue when you see this video, basically asking questions, letting us know what you would like to see in the future, what stocks are you trading, what's your opinion of where the market's going. Mark already reported back, no, he thinks Santa Claus is alive and well. At the same time though, and I don't know, I don't think Santa's dead, but we may be a Santa Claus rally that's similar to 2007, where the last 2 weeks of the year is where we actually got our Santa Claus rally, but it wasn't as strong as it normally would be. So with that said, before we get into the analysis of the individual indexes, Neil, I'm going to give you a chance to go in and talk about the stock that you're picking, and that was FTNT. Tell us about it.
FTNT is just gave me a buy signal today.
Okay.
On it, and it's been on my list, and it had the weekly triple screen is on for a long time, has not been broken, and I considered when I get a daily signal like that, it's a chance to pick it up.
Awesome. So are you opening a position up here?
Yep, I opened it today earlier.
Okay. And did you go with a full position, or did you, with market weakness, go in with a less than full position?
No, I usually go with the full position if the weekly triple screen is intact. And
okay.
Basically, it's intact since December of 2020. It has not broken yet.
Wow. Yeah, FTNT has been absolutely phenomenal, as you can see, all the way back here when it did its initial breakout. And it's done really well. I mean, that's a heck of a move from 115 up to over $300. That is more than a what, 200% gain during that time frame.
Yeah, and so when I get a daily signal like this, I say, okay, it's another chance to get in. So
okay, cool. I like it. Now, your stop loss below the low of today?
About 4%, whatever it comes to.
Okay. That sounds good. And just to give you guys an idea on, oops, let me grab from high-low is basically, yeah, it's about a 6% mover. This is one of the things that has been happening a lot with a lot of the stocks and the index ETFs we've been watching. We're getting these huge swings during the day. So, how do you handle that? If you're trying to let your winners run, if you recognize that you may get, kicked out, just do the day's swing. If you want to give a little bit more room, one of the things you can do is take a smaller position. So you're never risking more than you would risk on a 5% loss on a full position. So excellent. I like it. We've traded FTNT earlier in the year, and I really like it. So hey, let's go ahead and get into let's jump into the indexes. As you can see from yesterday, as I was talking about, this was just a gap and crap type of trade yesterday, where it basically we had a Wednesday was the follow through day in the Investor Business Daily, put the market back in an uptrend, and then pow, it gets knocked down to the on Thursday. Now we're stabilizing. What am I seeing here? Well, there's a couple of things and I'll just say of concern is one, on the weekly chart, we do not have a momentum shift yet. Momentum on both the TSI and the market forecast is pointing down. We have a negative divergence on the daily charts on both the TSI and the market forecast, even though we came close to the past highs. These are not indicators of strength. And so now as we take a look at this, well, what are some of the things that counteract that? Well, one, we're staying currently we're above the 50-day moving average, which is a good thing. However, we did drop back below the 8 and the 20. And the large daily swings is one, makes it really challenging to be predictive, but at the same time, it is of concern because it speaks to nobody's really in control of this market. No one's really in control of this market. So that's what I've got going with the S&P, NASDAQ. And Barbara, that's a great question. Are we having a sale today? Actually, well, I don't know which sale you're talking about. You're talking about the AutoPilot Trading System. Yes, we are. We'll get to that in just a little bit. NASDAQ is behaving more weakly than, in a weaker way than the S&P. As you see, the TSI has in fact turned back down. It rejected off the zero line there. If it were in a stronger move, it would be bouncing right back up and taken off. Now, we are back in a level of support. However, we do not have a candlestick that says that we have a reversal signal, and the market, the momentum indicators are not showing signs of strength, as we see here. This is weak. That's weak. We're turning back over. And as you can see over here, we actually on the weekly charts had a negative divergence on when we hit this past high here. And those can be indicative of potential weakness to follow. Now, is it going to fall out of the sky and just erupt and blow up? You know, I will say probably not. But I would basically keep my powder dry until I get some better signals to the upside. So that's what we're looking with the IWM, or correction, the NASDAQ, the Russell. Russell's kind of interesting right here. One is we dropped down and made a new lower low, but stayed within the confines of this sideways move that we've been making all year long. On a weekly chart, what do we have? We have a candlestick, a hammer after a downtrend. So that's significant. That is significant. On a daily chart, one of the things that we're seeing here is, see the widespread and wide movement? Well, this kind of answers the question of why doesn't the candlesticks patterns, why do they not always work? Well, when the price action and ranges on a daily basis get really wide, and it makes the candlestick signals, if you get them, less predictable. In other words, we depend on our candlesticks to tell us where something's going to happen. It doesn't tell us how much. And as you can see here, these are really sloppy. Whereas when the pattern is much more confined, you get much better signals that are much more predictive. And so, one of the things I'll just remind you, if you want to know more about candlestick sessions, hey, join us even for the active trend trading free session. You get a weekly free watch list, the Power Rank Elite watch list. And for right now, I've got a great video that you might want to look about, and that's you'll be sent to you about how to trade candlesticks. So guys, that's what I'm sitting looking at. Again, we're at levels where we need to be making some decisions, but I'm not going to make any big decisions going into the end of the year. What are your thoughts?
I pretty much concur. The market's been really squirrely. I got quite bullish on Wednesday, but with the failure to follow through, I'm just not taking positions.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the market to resolve itself a little more clearly, and then I'm ready to go. I'm down to 2 open positions out of typically around 25 to 30 that I hold. So
right.
I'm basically out of the market.
Okay. Anil?
My surprise here is S&P 500, because it gave me a buy signal last week,
right,
last Friday, and it is still intact. It's not broken.
Okay.
And the other surprise was RSP, which is equal weighted S&P 500. That also gave me a buy signal last Friday, and that's not broken. And
okay.
I'm a little bit surprised that it's hanging in there, but we'll see. I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me.
Yeah. See, and those of you not familiar with the RSP, what that is an ETF that follows the S&P, but it's equally weighted. It's not a weighted equivalent to the other. So, yeah, it looks, well, like I said, of all of them, Neil, yeah, S&P is holding up the better of all of them. Right now, I'm kind of in a position where I wouldn't touch the NASDAQ, but I might wait for something on the S&P, or wait for something to happen with the Russell. The Russell could surprise us off, because the Russell still has the history of rallying harder and stronger in the end of the year than the other indexes. And so that's something I will still keep in the back of my mind. So cool. So
From my perspective, I see today as having some buying activity, but I would like to see it confirmed by a higher move next week
right.
before I would get active. Yeah. I
And
think
so-
we may be bottoming, but it's not clear.
We may be what?
Bottoming out in the
Yeah, I think so.
over the last 2
Possibly.
days. Yeah.
'Cause we got a nice move up here, pull back to what could be a higher low.
Right.
And so, if I were going to nibble, it would be down towards these lows here with a stop very close to there. And then you anticipate a move back up. But a move
Correct.
back up may only take us back up to the in this case, 162.
Yeah.
What are we on the?
We have no indication of how strong it might be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, that answered your question on the candlesticks. And let me get rid of my drawings there. Let's see what we got here. What's really that RSP? What was that? RSP?
Yeah.
Neil?
Yeah,
RSP,
Yeah. Here's a homework assignment for everybody. Take a look at this. This is the weighted or the non-weighted average? Okay, compare this to the S&P, the spiders, if you will. Look at that. Much closer to its old high. And so that gives you a reflection of how much those weighted, the stocks with the larger weighting help to hold up the S&P. And so that's like the top 10% of the stocks. And the rest of the stocks were, kind of going, not so much. So, okay, here's another stock for you guys. Ready? QFIN. This is one of my picks for the week. Now, Steve, as I'm showing this, you basically took a pass on the stocks this week simply because you're waiting for what?
A stronger market. Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I like about QFIN, folks. I like it. The blockchain and crypto has been searching for a bottom. It may be finding it. We are getting a positive divergence here on the TSI. We are getting also a dip down into the lower level on the longer term market forecast, right at a level of strong support. Look to your left. This is where buyers came in before. So I'll be looking at this next week for probably a test of about maybe 1970 or so, 1970, 1976, and see if we move up from there. I could also buy on a break, like buy a nickel of the high of today. I will not do that simply because it would run immediately into the 8, the 30, and the 20-day moving average, which are kind of stacked right now to repel it. However, if I get in down here, about there, and it runs back up to the moving averages, that's a 10% gain. If I run up to the past highs, that's a 20%er. So that's my stock for the week. Thoughts, guys?
It's good. I like it.
All right.
Good
Okay.
structure.
And so since I like to provide us 3 stocks. Here's my other choice. Now we have done a significant pullback in Riot. Again, Riot is a blockchain company. However, it is putting in one heck of a pretty hammer today. Now that's a legitimate hammer. At the end of a downtrend, a reversal signal, TSI is down in the lower level. Market forecast is starting to turn up. And so now we can say, hey, are we hammering out a bottom? Now, where might we go? We might go back into the midsection of the hammer. If I was to trade that, I'd put in an order down here at about $22.52. And if it drops down out the bottom of that, the lower part of that candlestick would be my stop loss by about a nickel or a dime, which would put me out with a 4%, with a 4% loss. This does have weekly options, and so you could have some fun doing some weeklies with this. You could also look at, it's the time of year when you can look at doing leaps, but I'll talk about doing leaps. Maybe I'll talk about doing leaps over the holiday period when I'm doing just the recorded sessions. So what do you guys think of the Riot?
I like it. I think it's a good place for a buy, but my caveat is I'll wait for the market to show me some strength.
Roger that.
I'll get on board. Yeah.
Okay. Anil, what do you think of Riot?
Riot on my system is not a buy. It's currently it's still daily as well as weekly. It has sell signals, but at the bottom may be good. I don't know.
Yeah. And one of the things that I will just point out to folks, and this is kind of like an extra tip for the holidays, is if we can sit there and take and observe this and say, okay, this candlestick is telling us, it's a hammer. It is telling us that this is where it should reverse. However, the momentum indicators have not shifted to the upside yet. One of the things that is a very good caveat is to wait until you get the momentum shift up, then look to buy. Because the similar thing happened over here. And we basically pushed sideways for almost 2 weeks before it finally took off. And as you can see, what was going on with the TSI. So just pay attention to that. Just because we are bottoming with market momentum doesn't mean that it can't continue to bottom out a little bit more. Yeah. So Steve and Anil, as I go back into the other section, what suggested, if folks were wondering, what could they be doing the last 2 weeks of the year to put themselves in a position to be a better trader in 2022, what would you suggest? What one thing would you suggest?
I would look at all my losing trades and see what went wrong and try to learn from them.
Okay.
About doing better trades.
From my perspective, I think the lesson learned I have is just one single one. It has taken me about 8 years to develop the system that I have. And sometimes I hesitate taking action when the system is telling me to go.
Okay.
And I just need to improve on that self, completely believe in the system, then put my stop loss. And if I lose, that's it. That's okay. Yeah. But I've lost the opportunity many times.
Yeah.
Not believing in the system. And that's my biggest learning this year.
So
you're not alone. You're not alone, Anil.
So is that a mindset issue where you just basically have to recondition what your belief system is?
Right. It's a mindset issue, and you need to take care of it. It's just that's one of the limiting beliefs I'll have to get rid of. Okay.
What about everybody in the audience? I mean, what similar things for you? Because I know some of you have been trading for a long time. So, what about you? And please share. I mean, this is, and just type in the chat box where it goes to everyone. What is it for you? I mean, just one thing. If you could just magically flick a switch and change one thing about the way you're trading that you want to focus on in the last 2 weeks of the year so that you can be better prepared to go into next year. Keep better records. That's Mark's. I like that. Cut losses early and not hope and pray. Yeah. Yep. The news is out.
Is not good.
The news is out to get you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's designed to keep you wrong-footed.
The thing about the news that's really interesting, the news is designed to either good or bad is designed to create an emotion, and emotional traders are typically not really good traders. So cool. Anybody else? Thank you for sharing. Awesome, Barry. Yeah. So, and then again, if you're joining us on YouTube, please, feel free to, put in a comment. So let's go ahead and just close it off for today. And, are you spending 2 hours looking for stocks every weekend? And, there is a better way. Active Trading provides a clear and simple system focused on helping you trade your way to wealth and financial freedom. My goal every year is to make 40% ROI with 65% win-loss ratio. For 10 years, we've been beating the S&P with an average of 36.8%. I'm very pleased with that. Because one thing, it speaks to consistency. And so here's what we do during this thing. And so, hey, do you struggle with any of these? Spending over 2 hours, you can read them yourself there, uncertain about the market. Well, if that sounds familiar, AutoPilot Trading may be specifically for you. And basically, we do a weekly pre-flight checklist of the top 5 stocks and leverage ETF. If you're wondering about that, you can always look. I have a video that I'll put up here on up in the corner on the YouTube channel that talks about that checklist and how we get to the AutoPilot Trading. Here we provide this and this. And so trading routine, target consistency. If you remember last week, I said, but wait, big announcement week is this week. And here it is. Basically, I'm offering 25% off, up to 25% off a membership in the AutoPilot Trading service. Here is the annual rate, and you can pay for it in 3 monthly installments. But, at the same time, though, just take a test flight of 3 months, excuse me. You get 3 months for a really good saving. You save about 15%. If you're a Bay Area Money Maker member, also, this is a better deal than the regular discount I provide to meetup group members. And so, if you want to take advantage of that, the sign-up link will be in the comment section and on the email that I use to send out notifications on this. So, just join it. Guys, that's all I've got. It's been an absolutely fabulous 2021 working with you two gentlemen. I look forward to more of the same going forward. So stay healthy and stay vibrant over the holidays. And thank you for, again, just my gratitude to both of you is I can't express it enough.
Thank you also for inviting me to join this group. It's a great learning experience for me also. So thank you very much.
Okay, excellent.
I can't say it any better. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Look forward to 2022. And so I want to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, as we say here in Hawaii. Mele Kalikimaka and Ha'ale Makihiki Ho. Guys, we'll see you later. God bless.